Hi, I'm Carney, and this is my adventure mobile, Hooper. We sort of decided that we wanted to live in the smallest vehicle we could, and 4x4 was a non-negotiable. That kind of ruled out most vans for us. This is a 2002 4x4 Suburban with the off-road package. It was like significantly cheaper than a 4x4 van. Craig and I, my fiance, were living in San Diego. We knew he was going to retire from track and field. We sort of made a plan. We would buy and build out the Suburban first and hit the road full time. For a year was our original plan. And then he ended up getting a job in Providence, Rhode Island. And so I continued the road trip by myself because I'm working as a photographer. But it's coming up on, I think, 10 months. And I am probably going to go longer than a year and end up going all the way through 2017 in the burb. This is Hooper, a 2002 Z71 Suburban with now 150,000 miles. We lifted the burb 2 inches, replaced the shocks, and did a bunch of initial work on it ourselves. We put an LED light bar in just for the back forest roads and stuff like that. We have a roof rack, which has been awesome because a lot of times we have 2 mountain bikes, sometimes surfboards and stuff up here. This thing, everyone always asks what this is. Do you know you have a bag hanging off the back? Yes, we do know we have a bag hanging off the back. It's a trash bag. That way we don't have to have our stinky trash in the car that we live in. So trash goes outside the vehicle. I mean, we have like a trash bag inside, and then once it fills up, we kind of move it back here until we find a trash can or a recycling bin. We got this box carrier for, I think, like $20 or $30 on Craigslist, and it's super old, but it had never been used before, and it has been really nice for freeing up storage. We put our ropes, our wetsuits, anything that might be wet or smelly or just really dirty or big goes in the rooftop box. This thing, which is getting a little torn up from the weather, we need to make a cover for it, but it's pretty easy to replace the actual tarp portion of this. This is a homemade awning, and we made it for under $100 just with supplies that we found at Harbor Freight. Okay, so the front seat is a total mess right now. And since Craig moved out of the truck, I got a crash pad to replace him because he was my belay buddy. So now I have a crash pad in the front seat, which is kind of a large thing to have when you live in your vehicle. The fridge is awesome. Most people don't even know there's a fridge here because it kind of looks like an armrest. It is an Indel B, and we have the 30-liter version. Down here, we have our cleanup tools and then some eating stuff. And we used to have a spatula that hung right here, and we kicked it off like pretty much every day. So apparently it's gone for good now. I haven't been able to find it for a while. Our water is just bungeed to this back passenger seat. It's been pretty easy to deal with because I just unbungee it and then tip it over the edge. That way I don't get water in the truck. But ideally, I might like a more permanent situation for the water container. Okay, we had a basket and we cut it in half, and then we tied it to the handles of the fridge, so we have storage on the front and the back of the fridge. That's just kind of like a nice use of space. Our stove is right here, and I'll show you where I normally cook with it. I just flip this up. So normally we have 2 100-watt flexible solar panels on the box carrier, but one of them blew off while we were driving 70 miles an hour down the highway in Mexico. And so they still work, but we have to put them back on. I'm gonna do that next week. This is what it would normally look like, but with food in addition. Okay, this is the drawer for my camera gear. So right now, most of my camera stuff is actually my camera bag in the back, but this drawer is awesome because I can organize things. I mean, I have a lot of camera gear. I'm a photographer on the road full time, so it's nice to be able to keep it all in one place. There goes the honey. Then this is our auxiliary battery. A lot of people ask what heater I use, in the winter, and it's the Mr. Heater Little Buddy propane heater, and it works awesome, and I am really happy that I bought it. So I have 2 sleeping bags and like down jackets and stuff in here, and I use these like propped up against the side to sit on, so it kind of like makes a couch. I'm 5'8" and I sit comfortably in it. Craig is 6'2" and he also sits comfortably if he's leaning back, but he can't like sit straight up. Our platform is about 5 inches high. It's just been way nicer than like a high platform that might feel like a coffin if you're like too close to the ceiling. This lifts up, and I have like some climbing gear and hiking poles, a thermarest, some various other things. And so there are 3 of these drawers that are equal sizes. There's one in the center. It has just more gear in it basically. And the back one with the built-in drawer has like less space in the back because the drawer is taking up a lot of it, but there's still some usable space in there. So we kind of store stuff in every section underneath the bed to waste no space. Honestly, if I had to say like one thing was my favorite thing from our build, it is definitely this shelf piece that runs down the side. We took out the sound system basically, so we didn't lose that much space because we took out the whole side panel and we basically built the shelf exactly where that was. I mean, I think it comes out like an inch or something further. But because of that, we have basically like a full bed in here. It's slightly less wide than a full bed, but it's pretty close. And it's 6 feet 6 inches long. These are all the clothes that I carry with me on the road. That and the down jackets are in here. And I feel like I don't even use half of it. I could live with half the amount of clothes that I have on the road. I find myself just wearing the same thing every day.
2 weeks ago, I wanted to go out to check out this waterfall on a 4x4 road, and I had like no problems whatsoever getting there, and I got to camp in this like beautiful spot. It's just like the happy medium in between having like van type room, sort of. Obviously, like it's not as spacious as your van, but you know, a capable vehicle at the same time.
Don't look back, just keep
I think a lot of times when you're in your like early 20s or something, you see point Z where they are, right? And you're at point A and you're like, I don't even see the pathway to get there. So you ask them, how do I get to where you are? And they're like, you need to start working. Just do the work and keep chugging along, and eventually things will start to happen. And that's exactly what it is. Like, and you don't realize you're like, okay, I'm 22 years old, but I want to have a career like some people have when they're 35. It's like, well, that takes years. So I think the same goes for this. I mean, not to say you can't do it quickly if you have the resources and like ability and know-how and stuff, but for me personally, it was definitely a process. Like, this year is my first time ever mountain biking, and like I really learned how to surf this year. So for me, this journey has been like athletic development as well as career development. In some respects, I see those things as life skills. Life skills that I would like to acquire anyway, but I just want it to be known to people that even if you're a total beginner at something, you can go out there and do it. And trust me, if you do something for a month straight without quitting, you get a lot better at it pretty quickly.
just keep